Thank you. Welcome. I haven't been to Niagara Falls in quite some time, but I do spend every now and again. I go to Toronto. I have a gallery that shows my paintings, the Brian List Gallery. So I periodically I'm here in Canada. Canada is one of my favorite places to come to. I've been coming here since the 1960s. I used to do a lot of CBC television with some of the most brilliant performers that Canadians have produced. It was John Colicos, I remember, and John Vernon, Jack Creeley. That was the first time I worked here in Canada at CBC was with Jack Creeley, who was a really wonderful actor. The two-character play we did. I did a lot of two-character plays. It was back in the days when, before video. This is when they had kinescope. This is when you had to do everything live, and that was pretty scary back in those years. But I had a lot of fun here and made a lot of good friends. I love Canadians. That's a lot more civil than Americans. But anyway, I grew up in New York City, and where I went to a school called Music and Art High School, and from Music and Art High School, I graduated and went to a school called the National Academy of Design for the Fine Arts, where I spent 2 years under scholarship painting, and was nominated for Guggenheim when I was 18, 19 years old, and I won a Hallgarten, which is comparable to a Guggenheim, and so painting has been very much a part of my life. I have a painting in the Smithsonian. They own one of my pieces, and the Schomburg in New York owns a piece. The Kansas City Jazz Museum owns a piece. So it's been, as I said, been very much a part of my life. And what else?
Is your artwork still on display at Brian's gallery?
No, I don't have anything showing right now. We're going to have dinner with Brian tonight, right?
Yes, we are.
Right.
If everybody gets out a pen and paper, I'll tell you where to meet us. If you guys want to see some of Billy's art, you can go to his website, which is billydeewilliams.com, and you can see a selection of things. And we actually have one piece hanging in his booth. It's a piece that he did about The Empire Strikes Back. It is for sale, but there's no pressure to buy it. If you just want to see what it looks like and see his style of art, please come over and check that out. And usually we talk about the art first. 60-year career. Billy, why don't you tell everybody how you got into show business, because it's a great story.
I got into show business when I was 6.5 years old in a Broadway musical, a musical written by Kurt Weill. Kurt Weill wrote with Bertolt Brecht. And I was on stage with his wife, Lotte Lenya, who was, they were very famous in those years. This is 100 years ago. I'm 82 years old now, so I can't believe it. It's amazing that I've lived this long. But this was back in this was right after the Second World War. Can you imagine? My God.
No.
Derek and I, we've been together for we have a routine, you know. He's like my son, but he takes good care of me.
Thank you.
And
but finish the story, because the good part's coming.
Yeah. Anyway, when my mother was very interested. had aspirations of being in movies. She studied opera for many years, and she was working for the two people, Ben Boyer and Max Gordon, who were managers, Broadway managers at the Lyceum Theater, and they were doing this musical, The Firebrand of Florence, and they were looking for a little boy to participate in the production, and so they had me, and they realized that she had a little boy who was about 6. I was 6.5, and they had me come to the theater and had me walk across the stage one time, and they had me walk across the stage a second time, and I just fell in love with the whole idea, so I wanted to do it the third time. And they said, "No, Billy, thank you very much. We don't need you to do it anymore." But I said I wanted to do it, and I decided. So I didn't decide, but I started crying because they wouldn't let me do it. So I always say that I cried my way into show business. Okay.
And what's the song, the little ditty that you had to sing?
Make way for the Duchess, for her grace the Duchess. Make way for the Duchess, for her legal, regal Duchess. And then I had to come back out the second time with a message from the Duchess. Message from the Duchess, from her grace the Duchess. Message from the Duchess, from her legal, regal Duchess. But I've had a pretty eventful career. I even made an album. I did a play on Broadway with Laurence Olivier's wife, with Joan Plowright, Dame Joan Plowright, and Angela Lansbury, and Nigel Davenport, and Andy Ray, back in 1960. So I did an album in '61 called Let's Misbehave with Billy Dee Williams. I was a 23-year-old kid who was, the song A Taste of Honey, I don't know if you remember that song. That was actually written for me. I was the first to ever sing that song on the stage. So I've done a little bit of that in my life.
And oddly enough, the album was re-released about 3 years ago from a UK company, but if you guys, I think it's on iTunes, or you can actually find it and download it. So if you want to hear Billy sing, download it. Billy, I never asked you this before, and it just popped in my head when you were singing the two phrases from your play. When you were 6.5, how long did it take you to learn those lines? Was it easy?
Well, when you're 6.5, I mean, when Lenya forgot her lines, I knew her lines, and I would give her lines on the stage. I was a little rascal when I was a kid. I used to make faces at little kids in the audience. I used to make cross-eyed.
Try that now while I talk to them. So now, everyone who wants to ask a question, please line up. Don't push and shove and don't fight over it. There's plenty of space, and don't be shy. Guys, if you're in the middle of the crowd, excuse the people behind you. So come on up, we'll start with you. Oh, you want him to go first? Have you got your question ready, buddy? I guess you're the guinea pig here. So, okay. So you're gonna come up here. Can you speak loudly? Say your name.
Jack Saluka.
All right, and what's your question?
How was it like being Lando Calrissian in Star Wars?
Oh, great, fantastic. I always like playing heroic characters and characters who are kind of swashbuckling. So I really enjoyed myself playing Lando. Being kind of a roguish. I don't know if you know what that means. No. Okay. Anyway, I had a lot of fun playing the character. Okay.
If you want to learn what roguish means, just watch everything he does in the movie. There you go. All right, come on up, sir.
And you're going to really enjoy the new one, the episode 9.
Well, first of all, I want to say it's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
Your manager set a challenge out to the crowd here, so I got a two-part question. One you may want to answer, one you may not. First of all, I want to get your impressions of what you thought of Galaxy's Edge. Opening in Anaheim, I was actually one of the lucky people who was fortunate enough to be at the opening and just seeing the Millennium Falcon.
What is that?
What was your impression of Galaxy's Edge
Galaxy's Edge?
in Anaheim a couple weeks ago?
Disneyland.
Disneyland.
Oh, okay.
Part two.
Okay. Wait,
I
now.
was there.
Disney's going to watch these videos and go, what the hell is he doing?
Galaxy's Edge.
Part two that you may not want to answer since your manager has set a challenge. What's your social security number?
I don't even know. I have no idea. But anyway, I had a lot. I had a lot of fun at Galaxy's Edge in.
And just seeing the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, with the
up close.
Millennium Falcon was really, I always say Falcon. What is it, Falcon or Falcon?
It's whatever you say, sir.
Okay. Anyway, I really enjoyed it. I think everybody's going to enjoy it. It's a great, fun ride.
I appreciate it.
Oh, my
Have a great
pleasure.
day. Thank you.
Did you like the ride, sir?
I loved it.
You loved it. Good. All right.
Especially seeing the Falcon up close, like just looking up at it, it's incredible.
Sweet. Sweet. Okay. Yes, sir. Name, please.
Rich Beck, and huge fan, Billy.
Thank you.
So I'm a 5th grade teacher. Every single day I wear a suit and try to be as smooth as Billy Dee. So my question's every time. So my question for you is, old Lando wardrobe or new Lando wardrobe? What's better?
Both.
Both? Gotta pick one. Do you like the new bright colors?
No,
or
why
the-
do I have to pick one?
You're right, you don't. You're Billy Dee. You don't have to pick anything. But that was my question. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You guys are on a roll. I only have 3 or 4 of these here. Okay.
Hey, I just wanted to tell Billy Dee, when I was 5 years old, I saw Brian's song, and the speech you made toward the end of the movie where you're talking about your friend Brian Piccolo,
Right.
that actually inspired me when I was 5 years old to try out for a play when I was in kindergarten, because that speech was so powerful. That was probably one of your greatest acting moments. Just wanted to let you know that.
Oh, thank you.
And so the question I wanted to ask you was, back in the early 90s, there was a TV show called In Living Color, and they used to take a lot of pot shots at you. And you came on the show in good nature toward the end of one episode
Right.
and did push-ups, from what I remember.
Right.
Now,
'Cause
how
I
did
didn't
that
know
all
what
come
else to
about?
do.
Yeah.
I had no idea what to do. I think I was in pain that evening, because I started having these hip problems at that
right.
time. So that's why I opted or decided to do push-ups. I mean, I should have been dancing, really.
But I was going to say,
And
that
I
was
like to
great
dance.
that you appeared, because it showed you had a sense of humor and you could laugh at yourself.
Oh,
That you were on the
sure.
show.
I laugh at myself every day of the
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Do you look at the mirror every morning with your hair up and just... No?
Oh.
That's okay. Come on up. I wasn't talking to him. I was talking to you.
Hello, sir.
Well,
Welcome to Niagara
I think
Falls.
I'm a walking absurdity. That's how I describe myself.
Welcome to Niagara Falls. My name's Aaron. I thought you were wonderful as Harvey Dent in Batman. And I know a lot of us... Well, I was disappointed when eventually when Batman Forever came out and the part was played by another actor. Was the intention to have you play Two-Face in one of the Batman sequels?
No, they changed the regimes at that time, and so I think Sony bought the rights to it, so they decided to take a different direction. But all through that whole Batman situation, anyway, it's always changed so many times. But I mean, I did at that time I was really looking forward to. Bless you. I was really looking forward to playing a Two-Face, and I think it would have been interesting if I had done Two-Face. But of course, I mean, I'm a big Tommy Lee Jones fan, so it was fine. But he had a whole different. At the time, I had a whole different idea about how to do it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And for those of you who don't know, just in case, Billy actually did get to be Two-Face eventually in the Lego Batman movie. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. Yes, sir.
Hi, Billy. I'm
Hi.
Rick from Mississauga. Great to meet you. I have all kinds of career questions I'd like to ask you, but I recently celebrated 20th wedding anniversary. So what I'd like to ask you is, being one of the smoothest, coolest cats ever, how have you managed to have a successful marriage? If I'm not mistaken, you had a pretty significant anniversary not too long ago, too.
Well,
right?
I live in my own quarters, and she lives in her own quarters. That's the best way to do it.
That's the secret.
It's a civilized way to do it.
Put it all on the roulette table and see if I can make that work.
Take it easy.
Is your wife here?
No.
Oh. Get her on the phone, and I'm going to ask her if she agrees with that. No,
Well,
I'm
actually,
serious.
I learned that, many years ago when I did The Taste of Honey, as a matter of fact, and before we went to Broadway with the show, we did the show in California, and Angela Lansbury invited us to her house, and I remember I'm this 23-year-old kid from New York City and who lived in a tenement, and with my mother, father, my sister, my grandmother, and there was only one bathroom, for everybody. In those days, you didn't really think about it. It was just a normal thing. But I remember she was showing us around the house, and she said, "This is my room," and then she showed us her husband's room, and I said to her, "How come you got your own room and your husband's got his own room?" And that was the first time I heard that phrase, having your own space. And I thought, even at that age, I thought, wow, that's so civilized. And I said, that's how I'm going to live my life. I think it's a good idea. Everybody should have their own place to go to.
Where's Rick? Where did he just go? Where's your son?
If you can.
Okay, do not go home and tell your mom that Lando told you the secrets of marriage. Just leave it between you and your dad. When he moves into your room, you know why.
But
Yes, ma'am.
What do? You just go visit each other when you want to see each other.
Visit. Yes.
Hi, I'm Jess, and my question for you is, I'm really excited about episode 9. How much did you incorporate from the prequels that Donald Glover played? Did you incorporate that into his character?
I didn't incorporate anything from Donald Glover.
No?
No, of course not.
No, you didn't.
No, I created Lando Calrissian. In fact, he came to me and asked me some questions, and I said, just be charming. But he did a credible job. There's no question. He's a brilliant kid.
Yeah.
But as far as Lando is concerned,
Awesome.
I am Lando Calrissian.
Yeah. So much so that Billy has performed Lando for literally everything out there. All the Lego stuff you saw, all the Robot Chicken stuff you saw, that was all him. That's why it's in the reel. He did the radio show back in the 80s. He does all the video games. He is Lando Calrissian. That's it. Yes, sir.
Hi, my name is Ryan Huckla, and my mom, who's in the audience over there, hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
She is a big fan of Dancing with the Stars, and when you were on the season, we were both cheering for you, and we were both sad that you had to withdraw. But we were wondering if there was any character in the Star Wars universe that you could choose for your partner if you were to compete, like Lando compete. Who would that be?
Well, my good buddy Harrison.
There we go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. You guys are making my job very hard here. It's good questions. Yes, sir.
Hi, my name's Sorrel. I was wondering if there was ever a moment when you were working on The Rise of Skywalker where you sort of started to figure out where Lando has been and what he's been doing with his life for the past 20, 30 years.
I don't want to get struck by lightning.
You all need to go see the movie Christmas Day, and you'll learn all of those questions. There you go, sir. Come on up.
Hi, Billy. I'm Henry. It's an honor to meet you. My question was, with your inclusion in The Rise of Skywalker, I thought that was tremendous. It's so great to have you come full circle in that movie and to have you back. So I'm looking really forward to seeing it. The question I had was, did you find making a movie in 2018 a lot different from back in the previous 80s when you were doing the original?
Oh yeah, there's been all kinds of new technological things being incorporated in movie making, but I have to say my experience in this situation, working with J.J. Abrams, was just incredible. He's a wonderful young man. Brilliant. Great energy. I had so much fun working with him.
Well, I appreciate it and can't wait to see it.
Okay, you'll enjoy it. It's incredible. It's epic.
Hi, I'm William. I really liked your performances in Star Wars, both Star Wars and Batman. Two questions. How did you react when you found out you were going to play Lando for The Rise of Skywalker again? How did you react to it?
Wait a minute.
When you got the news that you were going to reprise your role, how did it make you feel?
Oh, I was surprised, really. But I mean, I look forward to it because I really don't want to do much acting anymore, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I don't feel like memorizing, getting up early in the morning, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I want to sleep late.
Question two, if you could
But
choose...
I really was very happy about coming back as Lando, and I wanted to see what I would do with it.
Question two, if you could choose anyone rather than Donald to play Lando, who would it be?
Billy Dee Williams. They could at least wait until I died or something.
Yes, sir.
Hi, my name's John. I think it's just kind of interesting because the 7th, 8th, and 9th, while you're here, it's the Chicago Bears' 100th anniversary, and Gale Sayers came out last night, and it was a pretty emotional experience that he was there. And I kind of wondered, with the Brian song, I mean, for race relations, I think it was a very important movie and still is, but what background did you bring to it in terms of either that aspect of it or being able to play football? And I guess also to Wendon, last one question, have you ever painted Gale Sayers?
No, I never painted him, no. But as far as my life is concerned, I've led a very eclectic life. So, you know, I've been around every kind of person since I was a child. So I never really dwell on those kinds of issues, really, to tell you the truth. What did you ask? What else?
The other thing was any football background in your life? Or
Well,
how did you get the role, I guess, or how did you play it? And
Well, it's really a long story. I mean, originally Lou Gossett was hired to play the character, but he was playing basketball on some weekend and hurt himself, busted his Achilles heel, a tendon in his Achilles heel. Jesus. But anyway, I happened to be in California at the time, and I was, I broke up from my second wife, and I was very sad and very unhappy about that. And so they called me in to audition, and I was in the right frame of mind. And so I, because of this breakup, so it worked for my audition, and that's how I got the job.
Sounds like you cry a lot in show business.
But I was perfect for that character, Gail. I mean, I believe it was meant to be. Because he and I are I'm better looking, but he and I understood him. There was a real simpatico between the two. I mean, we understood. He was very sort of introspective, and I've always been grew up as a kind of an introspective person. So I really understood his character. So it all worked very well, and I got a nomination for that one, an Emmy nomination.
Thank you.
And also, I think what happened too, what was interesting was that the chemistry between myself and Jimmy Caan, was like perfect. I mean, we really got on very well.
Before we went on to The Godfather.
Okay, thanks.
All right, everybody, focus your attention to the screens, please.
I get, every time I see that trailer, I get chills. So do we. It is so powerful. That's the first reaction I got. Well, this thing is epic, And Daisy, what a presence she has on screen. I mean, she's magical, really, truly. Wow.
All right, guys, so we have time for a few more questions. Come on up, sir. Oh my God, this is it? Is this the one we've been waiting for? Okay.
I don't know how I'm going to follow up that, though. Mr. Williams, my name's Tim. Sitting in the hotel last night, opened up an American beer. Sorry. I was sitting there trying to think of the perfect question for you.
Colt 45?
Well, here's where it goes. I was sitting there and I took a sip of it. Wasn't having fun at all.
Oh.
Do you remember the 2 rules to having fun?
The what?
The 2 rules of having fun at a party.
The 2 rules of having fun at a party? No, I don't remember. What is it?
Rule number 1, always bring the Colt 45.
Oh, okay.
Rule 2, always remember rule number 1. Thank you for everything. We're looking forward to seeing the new movie.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. That's right. I forgot that.
Hi, Billy. My name's Curtis.
Hi.
One of the most iconic moments for me personally in the new Star Wars trilogy was when Han and Chewie come on board the Millennium Falcon and say, "Chewie, we're home." How did you feel when you got back on the bridge of the Millennium Falcon?
Oh, it was great. It was wonderful.
Short but sweet. My name is Sal. I don't know if you remember, I interviewed you in Toronto several years ago. My question was, what was it like working on the Jeffersons with that crazy cast?
No, I had a really nice time at that time. It was a long time ago.
Yeah. Were they great to work with and everything?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And my other question was, how do you feel that Lando's been portrayed in the animated series? Do you think they've lived up to the character?
Say that again?
The way they've portrayed Lando in the animated series. I know you did the voiceovers. Do you think they did the character well enough?
In the what series?
The animated series.
The what?
The animated series.
Animated series.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was my voice, so it had, so I'm always in favor of that.
Yeah. It was a pleasure seeing you again, sir.
Well,
And thank you again for the interview years ago. You helped make my career.
Thanks. Take care.
Hi, Lando.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, my name's Lando. It's actually Jason from Toronto. So thanks for all the nice things you said about Toronto earlier. I have a two-part question. So would you say, like, coming up in the industry that you experienced a lot of, like, discrimination or cultural bias being a black actor when there wasn't a lot of black actors? And the second part is, would you say there's still a lot of bias in terms of, like, prominent roles and getting, like, major awards?
No, never.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, come on up. We're going to try and get through everyone. Nobody else get up. Nobody else get up. Okay, yes.
Hi, I'm Jenny. Your voice has such a beautiful timbre to it, and I was wondering what your favorite Shakespeare play is, if you have one, because I feel like you would be a fantastic addition to any of the Bard's
so
productions.
Like a
We're running out of
computer.
time. I'm trying to be. I'm also excited. Hello.
Okay, what's the question?
What's your favorite Shakespeare play?
Shakespeare play?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's several actually. Titus Andronicus.
All right. Most violent. Here for it.
Othello, Macbeth.
She doesn't want you to list all his works, just
Oh.
your favorite.
I mean,
Well, there's
Macbeth
no,
is
like,
also my
no,
favorite.
No, really one favorite. I mean, there are a few. Hamlet. I did a character once here, as a matter of fact, for CBC television, a play called Slow Dance on the Killing Ground. The character I played was very much like a Hamlet character. It was one of the greatest roles I've ever done many, many years ago. But if you ever get a chance to see it, it's really pretty extraordinary.
I'll have to look for it.
Yeah, 3-character play. It's a 3-character play.
Okay.
Called Slow Dance on the Killing Ground.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Hi, Billy. My name is Sophie, and my question is, what was it like working with Carrie Fisher?
Oh, wonderful. She was a
favorite.
wonderful person. We were pretty good friends and very bright, extraordinarily bright
Very strong
human
woman.
being. Yeah, great wit. But she's certainly missed for sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Julio. I work in the animation industry, and as an artist, are you a fan of comic book art? Because that's kind of the reason I got into animation, and if so, who are your favorite artists?
I have lots of favorite artists.
Out of like comic books, like if
Oh,
you're a
comic
fan
book?
of comic book art, since you're at conventions all the time.
I don't know, really. I haven't looked at a comic book
Okay.
since I was a kid.
Okay. All right.
But
Thank you.
certainly Stan Lee. I mean, if I'm going to pick anybody, yeah.
Did you get to meet Stan Lee?
Oh,
And
yeah.
what was he like?
What
was
it
he like in person?
Oh, he was. Oh, he was a nice man.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else to say about
Okay.
it.
All right.
Best to you.
The pressure's on. Last question of the day.
Hi, my name is Sean from Buffalo, New York. I just have a...
Wait a minute. Guys, we're in Canada. The Niagara Falls people are supposed to make that much noise. Oh, it's the same?
It's kind
Well, it's the same thing, really.
Okay, what's your question?
Pretty much.
My question is just, I'm an enormous film fan, as I'm sure most people in this room are. What would you say over the years is just your favorite movie? And you can choose one of yours if you want to.
I don't know. When it comes to really discussing like favorite, I mean, there are a lot of favorites. I've had some pretty extraordinary moments, and I've been doing it for 60 years. So a lot of interesting things have happened to me in film, in television, and certainly on stage. I did a lot of stage work.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's hard to really say what was the best. I mean, there are an awful lot of really wonderful experiences.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, guys. Rich, who asked what wardrobe was better, the old one or the new one? I like that, so come grab a disguise kit. And Ryan, who said, which Star Wars character would you dance with? I love it, so that's going to be Han Solo or Harrison Ford. And the ultimate question of the day, what's your social security number? I don't know who asked it, you didn't give your name, but come on up. So guys, if you didn't get a chance to ask Mr. Williams a question, you guys can come to the autograph table. There's no pressure to buy anything. Billy's very happy to have a chit-chat with you. Just don't make it long and drawn out for a half an hour. A quick one and say hello. Niagara Falls, give it up